Hello.
Good morning.
I kind of wish we were at the cottage, like on a hot day like this, under hot lights.
Right? Being in front of waterfront on, it's almost 40 out there, so it's
If
a
you're
good
watching
time.
from the cottage, consider yourselves very lucky. But if
And
you're,
it is lucky.
Really?
It is lucky.
There's not a lot of cottage properties?
So it was interesting. We go back and forth and talk about what people are thinking about. And right now is cottage purchasing season. And, when we talk to various people, they're like, is now a good time to buy the cottage? Good luck finding a cottage. So cottages right now are like high peak time.
Right.
And the fact is that also people want cottages, and because we've talked about this year after year, people are moving out of the city to the cottage because they can.
Right.
And so cottages are hard to come by, and depending on what you're looking for, maybe even harder than you think.
Okay, let's go through your advice. Year-round maintenance requirements. This is probably overlooked a little bit, right?
It is. So I always remember my father owned a cottage, and so this even comes from personal experience. And so are you ready to hold down two homes, or is this going to be your permanent home? And I know, and I will say to all my viewers, I'm not the greatest housewife when it comes to cleaning and maintaining year-round maintenance. You got to cut down, are you willing to take care of two homes? Are you willing to possibly even do road work? Are you willing to understand if you have a dock, what kind of dock is it? Is it floating? Is it like, are you having what we refer to as whips on the dock to hold your boat, right? There's a lot to understand because it may be a very, very romantic idea. And trust me, I know that feeling, yet it's a romantic idea with a lot of effort into it. So are you willing to hold down two homes with possibly even more effort on the cottage?
You go to the cottage on the weekend, perhaps, and you find yourselves doing all kinds of work.
Yep.
Doing cutting the grass and maintaining it. That are you going to be able to maintain it and enjoy it is a really big question. Plumbing and waste removal.
Okay, so here we go with the ick factor. I'm going to, so there's two headspaces on waste removal. First and foremost, let's just talk about our garbage. Here in the city, we just put our garbage out on the curb every other week, right? And we get rid of it. Not so much in cottage country. Do they expect you to take your garbage and bring it back to the city?
Ooh.
And we know that that's a consideration that our counselors are talking about right now. Are you putting your garbage out on your curb, right? So you're going to have to take your garbage and put it in the back seat of your van, your SUV, your car, right? So
Is that in a lot of cases for cottage country around here, or?
It's 50-50. It depends on the association.
But something to ask if you're looking to buy a cottage.
Absolutely.
Because if you have a big family, you generate a lot of garbage, you might want to take that in consideration.
Because a lot of people are like, let's just do paper plates and let's make it easy, right?
Yeah.
So there is a lot of, it seems like cottage country sometimes increases waste. So we have that to consider. Now let's talk about the poo factor. So when we talk about plumbing and stuff like that, we have to find out, do you actually have a septic system, which is rare? I will have to say is rare unless you're permanently moving in its permanent house. Or do you have a holding system? And the holding system is one where you need to make sure that that your company can gain access to remove the waste. And the holding tank is literally what it sounds like. Okay. It's a holding tank, and it needs to be removed maybe once or twice a year.
Okay, and then I'm sure there's a cost associated with that.
Absolutely.
So a lot of things to ask. These are some pretty big ones just to get